and walk with me through this massive puddle, and you are going to start to see why it was so difficult for people to get their hair cut today and for trucks to drive through this swamp. And I want you guys to see the difference with this. On this right-hand side, we have a normal corn stalk, which I'm told by the owner at this point in time is normally waist high. And on the left, these are the damaged stalks, and you can see it's about half the size, and some of those leaves just completely and totally damaged. Well, Michael, the converters located underneath the car are an easily accessible part that criminals disassemble and take for a quick profit. Here at Drivers Village, I'm told that the criminals were able to do it so quickly that they took this part off of 17 cars lined in a row before taking off. Well, and truth be told, most of the neighbors who we spoke with today say that the responsibility is on the truck drivers to stop hitting into this bridge once and for all, especially with signs just like this one that are warning trucks higher than 10 feet 9 inches to stop. One seller who I spoke with today said that sales are down significantly here at his stand in East Syracuse. He says normally by July 3rd, he has sold anywhere in between 2 and 3 of these truckloads filled to the brim with fireworks. This July 3rd, you are looking at only the first truckload, and there's still fireworks inside. Now, I know that Josh Kozlowski is going to have you guys covered on these conditions, but how fun is this snow going to be to play in tomorrow? How fluffy is it? I think that that's my role tonight. I don't know how fluffy it is, but we're going to find out right now. Am I going to regret this on the way home? Probably.
Oh boy, a snow angel.
What do you do if your paradise is all of a sudden no longer paradise?
On March 12, 2007, 29 cars of a CSX train derailed, causing an explosion neighbors say they can never forget.
It was one big old fireball. I mean, big. I remember standing here going, well, it's got to be a couple hundred feet. But man, it was more like a couple of thousand, because we're 3/8 of a mile away from it, and that thing was as high as I could see.
We're just a few miles down from the site where a CSX train derailed back in 2007. Now, since then, the tracks have been fixed, the smoke has since settled, but this lives on in the memories of those who remember that day. It was snowing when the blast happened. Listen to what neighbor George Clark says the aftermath felt like.
I held my hand against the window, and it was hot, like somebody opened a pizza oven. It was hot.
In the short term, the explosion led to 2 elementary schools shutting down, neighbors within 1 mile forced to temporarily evacuate, and so many questions.
Is it safe to breathe? Is it safe to drink the water? Is it safe to be around?
Is it safe? Is it not safe? Can I raise my family here? Do I have to leave? Is my land worthless?
In the long term, the Oneida train disaster led to $6.73 million in damages, and the people who live here are watching developments from East Palestine, Ohio, and they're not happy.
We learned nothing. I mean, we've got GIs that are going through this burn pit syndrome. This is, we've learned nothing. And the accountability, it's corporate greed.
Almost 16 years later, neighbors in Oneida still want to know why this is happening elsewhere, hoping it never happens again. In Oneida, I'm Samantha Croston. It affected people who have been in this world for a long time, as much as it did people who were just entering it.
I think we forget how bad it was at the very beginning. It was a nightmare.
A nightmare come to life for people like Elizabeth Colby and Martha Klein, who both live with parents in their 90s.
It does seem to be over. I'll still wear a mask sometime if I'm going to be jammed into a space with a lot of people, mostly because of Dad.
I currently live with my soon-to-be 98-year-old mother, and so I'm still careful, and I wear a mask in the grocery store. And I'll continue to wear a mask as long as I'm living with my mother.
TJ Stone and his wife Jennifer, who had their first child during the pandemic, can empathize with those who felt stress during that time.
And with a young child, you do have some concerns about long-term effects and things like that.
Since the testing site at Upstate Community Hospital opened in November of 2020, there have been nearly 71,000 tests administered. But a spokesperson for the hospital tells me the reason for the closure this Friday is because the demand for testing has simply died down.
We would do one at home. We normally get one through like the pharmacy, and you can submit it through your insurance. So we'll just do it like that, and we stockpiled. So we've got quite a few at home now.
I'll get every vaccine they offer. And I don't feel that COVID is over. I don't think it'll ever be over.
It's a period that'll live on forever, in the history books and in our minds, with lessons learned in the process about the power of emotions,
The fear was real.
about gratitude,
Being able to do this is a real gift.
and about making the days count.
I'm in my 90s, so I kind of take life as it comes.
Instead of counting the days.
If I have a few more days like this, that's all I ask.
In Syracuse, I'm Samantha Croston.
Should try fishing from it.
If Uncle Chris still has fish and stuff.
Kathy Smith hasn't always been able to give her daughter everything she wanted.
I feel she is like a normal child.
People are so outrageous. I can tell you that.
Who likes to do various things, inexpensive things, buy video games or go to the most, and different outdoor activities that, you know, sometimes financially I just don't have the extra money for.
Made more difficult after the duo became homeless this January.
We had a house fire due to our furnace not working for the past few months. And technically a repairman came over to fix it, and in the middle of the night the furnace actually caught on fire, and that was the end of that was the end.
Finding out about the extended child support was a godsend.
You know, we're moving on to a brighter, happier future, and it'll mean a lot to make my mom happy with the income coming to her and everything.
The law was pushed for by state and local leaders because of the increased likelihood of divorce in families that care for special needs children.
We got through it.
Yeah, we got through it together, I can tell you that.
The law was passed unanimously by the New York State Legislature in October of 2021. It was in an effort to recognize that even once the child turns 21 years old, they still have day-to-day needs that the main caregiver of the child is primarily responsible to take care of. Kathy already works 2 jobs and says that extra cash will allow her to spend more time with her daughter.
Continue life as it is without, you know, cutting budgets and cutting out activities and fun things to do.
But it's about more than the money.
It's not just the money, but to make sure that she has a wonderful quality of life, that she can do things that her friends and her peers are able to do, so she doesn't feel left out.
It's about happiness.
We've been through a lot, definitely, in this crazy year. And I just for once want to see my mom smile, definitely. I miss her smile every day, and it makes me, you know, makes me cry a lot of tears on seeing my own mother smile, because she has been through a lot, and I definitely would like to see her do that. Wow.
And spreading awareness about the law so other people can experience that happiness too.
You know, this is a really cool program. This is, you know, a really great opportunity for kids like us. And I'm just, you know, spreading the word just to make sure that our voices are heard no matter what, no matter where we are. I should be a motivator. You are the greatest mother in the world, I can tell you that.
Thank you.
Gave me everything.
In Syracuse,
You're a wonderful daughter.
I'm Samantha Croston.